I'm Rachel Cox from Celebrating Sanctuary Birmingham. This flyer is really talking about what we do as an organisation and who we are. So Celebrating Sanctuary Birmingham is a diverse music and arts organisation. We've been operating since 2002. We were initially set up to run the Refugee Week Festival in Birmingham, and that was really our primary role. But then over the years we've diversified, developed, created partnerships and developed a year-round programme. So we now do a year-round programme which involves events. We still do the Refugee Week Festival every year, every June. We do a number of partnership events with Symphony Hall. We have our lunchtime concerts which happen every month. We do partnerships with Mac Arts Centre, with some of the galleries like Icon Gallery, also outside of Birmingham like Compton Verney, out near Coventry as well. So we develop partnership events with different organisations. We bring some of the musicians that we work with out to different locations and put on different kinds of events and performances depending on what the kind of event is. We also do artist development, so we work with artists to different stages of their careers. Whether emerging artists, we help with mentoring and shadowing opportunities. With more established artists, we do artist development, creative collaboration, so we support artists to work with people they don't usually work with, develop new ideas, develop new work, and put on performances. And just not long ago, we actually had a collaboration between Ling Peng, who you just saw perform, and a Congolese guitarist and singer called Noel Tsumbu, who's based in Ireland. And they worked together, created a collaboration, and we put that event on at MAC. So it is about bringing people together and, like I say, creating new opportunities for people to try something different, but also about, as I say, developing the profile and representation. And for us in particular, that is with refugee and migrant artists, which is the main artists that we work with. So we work with artists from all around the world, most based in the UK, but sometimes we bring over visiting artists as well who happen to be touring. And we also do work with community groups, refugee groups, so we'll take artists into different centres, different locations, and work with people. I mean, some of the pictures that you can see behind me are some of the community engagement work that we do, workshops at the festival, but also sometimes more longer term projects. We actually ran a project in 2019 that was a 12-month project working with a group of Syrian refugees, and we worked with the same group of people over the space of about 10 months, and they worked with visual artists, musicians, and it was very much an opportunity for people to come together every week, be together and just do something creative. But for them it was just about being together, being able to meet up with family, friends, and just being a welcoming environment. So we try to work in all different areas, we try to work at all different levels, but as I say, it's the main three areas of work is the events, artist development and community engagement, but we also do a bit of awareness raising as well. But if you want to pick up one of these flyers, that will give you more information and probably explain it better than I can. Oh yeah, the only other thing that I will say is that because we did start in 2002, 2022 was our 20th anniversary, so we actually did a big anniversary project in that year where we looked back over the last 20 years. We looked at, went through our photo archives, our video archives. We interviewed people who were on our very first board, who a lot of us who work here now had never met before. So it was really a chance for us to find out about the history of the organisation and how we sort of where we started and where we are now and how we reached that point. So we actually have a digital archive that's online, and you can get a link to that on our website. So
I'm Josh Elliott, and I'm the main organiser of an organisation called Creative Peaks, which we basically run kind of multicultural events, music events in the Peak District. I'm lucky enough that my dad owns a pub in a beautiful part of the Peak District, and we just started off by doing jam sessions around the fire. and it slowly sort of built up, and now we have fairly regular concerts and a festival every year called Lost in the Hills, which again started out a little bit ramshackle, and a few people got wet while they were performing, but we've got a bit more of a better setup now, and we've had musicians from all over the world, from China, from Senegal, from Ukraine, and we're also sort of interested in different arts combining, mixing together different arts forms, and I also help to run a project where I get people to collaborate with artists from different cultures. I think something similar to what Rachel was talking about, and we've done a couple of these residencies. The last one was with a percussionist called Doudou Koyati from Senegal, and some string musicians and vocalists from Manchester, and they kind of spend a few days together and create a collaboration and some new music, and we film it all, and so yeah. I'm also, the only other thing is I'm involved in a small project in a venue in Derby called Dubrec, where we've had a programme of sort of diverse music events. So that's it really. Yeah, I'd love if you come and talk to me, and I've got a few videos of some of the artists that performed. Last thing I would say is we're actually building a new structure which might be of interest to people, because it's going to be a large geodome so it's like a geodesic dome that fits an audience in it, and we'll have a sound set up and some kind of nice projection equipment, so it's a good space that you might want to use for an event. So yeah, come and talk to me. That's Creative Peaks. Thank you.
Very brief, talking about how we are bringing the new generation of world music. Here in Nottingham, I'll be talking about USB, Ukrainian School Band. So the band started after the big invasion into Ukraine in February 2022, when the city has welcomed a lot of newcomers from Ukraine. Most of them were mothers with children, and these children were quite traumatized. A lot of them seen the, fight clothes on, and a lot of children just been torn out of their usual environment and brought into this country without knowing language or anything else. So it was quite difficult for them to find themselves and to find confidence and find the outlet for their creativity. And because I'm connected to Ukrainian community, I started, at the beginning we were called the choir. Basically I would come with the guitar and we sing the songs the children liked. And with the time, then we reached out to the community to get some music instruments for the children, and community was very responsive. So we had a lot of instruments coming our way. We had guitars, bass guitars, you can see, the keyboard, which children could get home, and they also had a chance to practice in the Ukrainian center, which we were very lucky to have and are. And at the beginning, we were performing just in the Ukrainian center for our audience, for the parents and everything, everyone who comes to the Ukrainian center. And after about a year of continuous rehearsals and practice, we started to get invitations from outside festivals and venues. You can see we're here in Nottingham Arboretum, in Yorkshire Integration Festival, and the buff in Birmingham. We were very lucky to receive the funding from Nottingham City Council after a year of voluntary work, so now I get paid for that, which is great, but it took me some time to get there. Children love to perform. I give them a choice to what repertoire to perform. Everyone is welcome regardless of ability, so we're not maybe best quality band, but we're definitely the best band for motivation, inspiration, and having a great time. That's my kind of the main saying for them. If children come to me and they're having a great time and they have find friendships, that's all I want. And I've seen children blossoming. I've seen children opening up and feeling much better about their situation. They found new friends, and most importantly, they have the outlet for their feelings. They love what they perform. And I try to engage every child in different ways. If the child doesn't play musical instrument, I give them either a triangle or rain stick or trembita, traditional Ukrainian instrument, something easy to play, or like a chime, something that they will feel included. And we also got lots of singers. We have been covered on BBC's Midlands News on Christmas last year. One of the parents is a photographer, so we have now professional pictures. I hope we'll have professional videos soon, and we are looking currently for somebody who can help us to start writing own songs. I write my own songs, but I don't know how to teach it. So if you know, please approach me, and you can find us on the Facebook. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name's Enzo and I run the Guild Sessions. Before I tell you about the Guild Sessions, just briefly a bit about me. I've had a pretty nice career for the last 40 years playing lutes, hurdy-gurdies and all sorts of historic instruments around castles, country houses, all around the UK, recorded albums, etc. I've just about given all that up now and stay at home in my own recording studio doing session work for music for podcasts, etc. But a few years ago I got involved in the Guild Sessions in Lincoln. They take place in a beautiful 12th century building in central Lincoln. They're a monthly event on the third Monday of each month. They were started in 2017 by Cassandra and James. And after a random chat in a bar, they were saying things like, how can we put some acoustic music nights together that could be accessible, affordable, and with quality performers? Cassandra, she still is a fine bagpipe recorder player, and she was new to Lincoln on a university lecturing post for folk and world music. James was based in Lincoln, a percussionist by night, and an apprentice architect by day, and knew lots of small venues. St Mary's Guildhall on the High Street ticked all the right boxes. Inexpensive to hire, lovely historic setting, stone walls and hard floors for good acoustics. So off they went, setting them up. The first two were in a small downstairs room, famous for its glass floor. Lit up, that glass floor showed visible remains of a major Roman road. And performers were saying, it's weird, sitting on a chair on a glass floor and looking down, trying to play an instrument, and all you can see is a Roman road. I missed the first Guild session, but we went on and I went to the second one and thought, I want to get involved in this. And they were so popular that the third one was held in the larger upstairs room, which seats about 60. That's the one you can see here on the slideshow. You might even recognise some of the performers yourselves. They're still held there, and this month's was Guild session number 56. We were then approached by Steve Court, a writer, poet, publisher, broadcaster, who suggested a short spoken word spot in between the music. It might work. It did. And to this day, his company, Impspired, brings in local poets or writers for a 10-minute performance. Now, as a team of 4, we built up a great audience base. This, though, is our tried and tested and successful formula. We invite 2 music acts, either professional or semi-pro, to give us each a 30-35-minute performance. Some are established performers, some are upcoming talent, some local, some from further afield. The £5 entry money is shared between the performers. There's never a guarantee of any money for performers, but no one has ever left empty-handed. We never reveal the lineup. So every Guild session is a surprise to our audiences. That last bit, though, is a contentious statement. Our audiences, they trust us, hopefully, to put on a good evening. Or they might turn around and say, if I don't know who's on, then why should I go? Our counter-argument was that if you knew who's coming, then prejudices would kick in. Oh, I'm not sure if I like Korean flute. I'll give it a miss. As it happened, that Korean musician was a virtuoso on her instrument, and she left us all breathless. I like to know who I'm going to see. Well, it's only a £5 for 2 music acts, and we only book quality performers, so take a chance. You'll never know who you might discover. This format has worked for us for 7 years, and I'm not planning on changing it. Many of the early sessions were filmed by Acoustic Nations under the direction of Colin Webb. He's here today. These videos were shared with us for our social media pages. Because of Cassandra's links to the University of Lincoln, we were able to, 1, source London-based musicians through SOAS. She would invite musicians to lead student workshops and then tie in a concert for us at the Guild sessions. This is how we got the Korean flutist, an Argentinian jazz combo, a duo of experimental Greek folk, and 2, she managed to squeeze out a budget from the uni to create other linked events, such as Beyond Folk, which was an open-air event of 4 acts, including Irina's band. We also had a collaborated event in Boston featuring East European music bands. And there was a weekend family event at the uni featuring international food, music, costumes. Cassandra was headhunted and now teaches in Belgium. James left the Guild sessions to do up his house. The spoken word spot was and still is organised by Inspired. But basically now the Guild sessions is a one-man operation with a small team of volunteer helpers. We struggled to restart after the COVID lockdown. Audience numbers were low, people reluctant to socialise in a smallish room. Every venue went through it, but we persevered and rebuilt the numbers. We now have a waiting list of performers who really want to play for us, tempted by the chance to, 1, play in a beautiful setting, 2, know that the audiences are attentive and appreciative, 3, enjoy the friendly atmosphere. How many times I've heard performers say at the end of the evening, how good it is to have an audience that listens. What amazing acoustics. What a lovely atmosphere, so friendly. This space is just so beautiful. And thank you so much for inviting us. And so we'll continue to provide a great night out in Lincoln. It's a smallish provincial city with a standard pub, rock and pop scene, but now it has a wonderful window into world music. I only wish it had been my idea in the first place. Thanks for listening.
I wear a few hats. Mompreneur, edutainer, a creator, an artist, a musician, somebody who brings joy to people. And my story starts when I came here to England a few years ago. Oh, it will tell my age if I tell you how many years. But anyway, I was driving with my band colleagues, and back then we were using the maps to get to where you need to get to, and A to Z. And if most of you, I'm sure we all know how the story goes, you needed about 5 or 10 pages to travel from London to get to Birmingham or up to Manchester, and you have to map these. And while driving, remember you're coming from Africa and you don't want to miss your junction. So I didn't realize that by looking at the pages, I was driving a little bit slower and slower and slower. And the police stopped me and I said, oh wow, somebody to help me in authority. And I glide down my window, and he says, asks me the questions, who are you, where are you going to, and this, is this insurance, the usual questions. And all the while, me being from where I come from, anyone in authority, anyone you have respect, you actually lower your head and your eyes and your face down. And he was looking at me all the while, and he goes, oh, something is dodgy, you're looking shifty. And I thought, wow, what do you mean? And he says, why are you not looking at me directly in my eyes? And I thought, oh, cultural difference. the British like it when you look at them straight in the eyes. It's a way of honesty and integrity. But where I come from, it's a sign of disrespect when I stare somebody in the face, in the eyes. I have to lower my head. Then that was how African fusion was born. And I thought, a grown man doesn't understand my culture. And I didn't understand his culture as well. How then do I impart? How then do I teach? And I thought we start by teaching the young, catch them while they're young. And African Fusion is an educational cultural arts provider, and going into schools, young offenders units, prisons, homes, anywhere where music is needed to edutain, educate, experience authentic African instruments. And again, like I say, I wear so many hats. I'm part of Celebrating Sanctuary World Music Consortium. I am Millicent Chapanda, the performer as well. And I'm sure you've seen most people speak about their festivals. I've performed at Music Stand. I've performed at I have performed at Josh's events. You know how it is like. I'm okay when I'm performing, but when I'm speaking, things just fly out of my head. And I've performed so many times at Celebrating Sanctuary. I've also performed here in Nottingham. I've seen a few faces, so many places and spaces, and it's been wonderful. So that's my other hat as well, other than African Fusion, Millicent Chapanda. So thank you very much, and that's how I share what I do, and I love sharing, imparting about my identity, my heritage, and I also get paid while doing it. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Zirak Hamad. I'm the artistic director of Music Stand. I'm a musician, I'm a violinist as well, I'm a performer. I have a band called The Whole Kurdish Band, but today I'm not here to talk about The Whole. I'm here to talk about Music Stand. What's Music Stand about? Music Stand is the platform for local, national and international artists, musicians. I established in March 2012, and that time we just started from 10 people at the old Print Works in Bossel here. Is a very old building, beautiful building, have a character. We started from 10 people and then just naturally and just growing. And now we have an annual festival as well. Just for the regular sessions, when we have unique musicians from different backgrounds, from 10 now it goes to 60, 70, depends sometimes the artist and depends the situations. Every third Thursday, and it's just like warming up for the weekend, we do. One thing is very interesting, I would like to mention it. We were just running Music Stand voluntarily, and beautiful musicians, great musicians with a very low expectation, they were helping us. It was based on donations and how much we were making. It was like 80% to the artists and 20% for the venue. But since 2019, we are funded by Arts Council England. So now, fingers crossed, we are waiting to hear from Arts Council in beginning of October. Hopefully we can run one more year sessions. And we are always exploring, finding talented musicians, but we are lucky as well, so many talented musicians, they contacting us. And if you know any musician or if you are a musician, please be in touch, because if we are funds granted from October until next year for the 12 months, we have again regular sessions and we have a festival as well. There's the opportunity for everyone. And we hope to see you in Birmingham sometime at Music Stand. And you can follow us or find us more about Music Stand on social media as well. And now we are working on the website. We have a website, but now updating the website as well for the new sessions. But from social media, Instagram and Facebook, you can find Music Stand. And just change the S to Z when you write Music Stand. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening.
Hello, testing. Hi. This is my first time doing something like this, and I'd just like to say thank you to everybody from World Music Consortium, and pleasure to be here and privileged to listen to these prestigious artists. Basically, I work between India and the UK for the past 15 years. I have a music arts company which is called Exchange Arts. I have some stickers which you can all collect from the front over there. Also, I have a music outfit I work with called Bandish Project, which I've been doing for the past 15 years. And also I have a record label. I've been quite successful in some of my work. So I've crossed about 108 million views on one of my YouTube channels. And I've become quite social media savvy, so I've been just supporting artists at World Music Consortium. Also, I've attended Womex for the past 3 years. I really enjoyed the experience. I love immersing myself amongst the artists, agents and the promoters. And I'm based in Leicester and I'm based in India, and I'm really looking forward to talking to everybody outside later on. Okay, thank you very much.